and let the one who has no sword sell his cloak and buy one.
Hey guys, this is Spencer with Defense Training. I want to go over the VIAIR portable air compressor. This is the 400P-RV compressor, and I want to go over that today. So stay tuned. Hey guys, we make custom Kydex holsters, so make sure to go check our holster store out, and the link will be down in the description below. Thanks. Alright guys, we're back. We're going to go over this air compressor, and I know that we usually go over self-defense and firearms and all that on this channel, but I also know that there's a lot of you guys that do more than just shooting or whatever else, as I do. If you see, I've got my little home-built camper behind us, and then I've got this compressor here, and I want to go over how much I've really enjoyed this compressor. This is the RV model because I do have it's a box truck conversion that we've made, so it's not just a normal vehicle. So it's got the heavier duty tires that go up to 80 psi maximum. Now of course you're not going to run that typical on the road. I believe ours calls for about 70. I think it's like 68 actually, but I pump it to 70 because that's where I get my good flat against my tire. When you look down, it's good and flat, so that's where I put it. But I want to show you this one, and again, this is for RV. I actually didn't get this for initially for the camper. We have a long drive back and forth to church, so I drive actually 45 minutes back and forth to church every Sunday and every Wednesday, and I had a small little rigid compressor. Now it works okay, but in fact I didn't even have it on me that night, but we had a blowout. We had something fall off somebody's truck, or I think it was a transfer truck, something fell off the back. But I hit it and then my tire went flat. Unfortunately, we were right at the exit, so I was able to kind of limp it in. I still had a little bit of tire pressure, you know, on the, I have a Ford Explorer, so on the vehicle you can pop it up, it shows you your tire pressure, and I've still got 20 pounds, 18 pounds right, and I pulled in right at like 10 or 12 pounds. So it didn't go completely flat, but it was right at it. But again, I got the blowout right at the exit. Of course, I carried my little puncture kit, a little cheap puncture kit from Harbor Freight. I'll show you that as well here in a minute. But I was able to plug it, and I was right there at a QT, one of our local gas stations here in South Carolina, one of our main ones, and I was able to pump it right back up, so no big deal. But I got to thinking about it. You know, we drive 40-45 minutes twice a week up and down the road, and you know, what if that happens and I'm not near a gas station? And you know, this little rigid one works okay, but I've also got an RV that we do quite a bit of camping in, and then so I was like, well, you know what, I want to invest in a better compressor that will do the RV as well. And I really like this compressor. I really do. Now of course it's not the cheapest, but it's not the most expensive either. I'm gonna post a link down below, and you can go grab that as well. But what first thing I want to do is show you how it works. So of course you've got the compressor here, you got your handle, you got your hook port here, and then it hooks to your battery. So you've got your two clamps for your battery, and also I'll show you what comes in it. So you've got a couple of different hookups here. You've got your gun basically with the gauge. This thing actually works really well, and you've got your quick connect on that, and it comes with a small connect to your tire, and then it comes for you guys with dually wheels as well. It comes with one of those. You just have to put your quick connect from here. Basically you wouldn't be able to do it on the gun because that's the only quick connect I believe I have. Or get you another quick connect. You can buy them cheap enough at the local hardware store, and then you can put it on here, and you would also have for your dually wheels. Now mine's not a dually, I do not have dually wheels, so I've never hooked this up. However, I do take this with me just in case some of the other campers have dually wheels and they need help as well, or when I'm traveling down I-85 and I need to help somebody, and I will. But I want to show you a little bit more about this. Let's see if we can see this here. I know I'm out here in the sun, I'm outside, I know you hear the birds and all that, but this is actually a screw in. So you put it down your plug and you screw it in so it's hands off, and it connects very easily. Push it in just like that. You know, it's just your quick connect. I'm sorry, can't hardly see, it's bright, and it just pushes in like that. Now if you've never used any of this stuff, hopefully you have if you've been around this stuff. If you've never used any of this stuff, before you hook your power or cut your compressor on, hook all your hoses up. That way you don't have any air in the lines and all that, and it's easier to connect. It's a lot harder when you have air in the lines. And then of course when you first pull it that first time, you're going to pull it and it's going to basically blow off. All that air is going to come out of there. It's going to go right. So do know that. And then it's got the trigger. They do make one of the triggers that you can set it where you want it. It will automatically cut off. I did not get that one. It was a little more expensive. I'm used to these types anyway. Hit it, get it to where I want it, and then I'll pull it off and I'll put it back on sometimes, because a lot of times it doesn't do exactly right. And then of course it has your little blow off here as well. But what I want to do now is it's got two hoses. Let me show you that first. So you got your main hose here in front of the bag, and it comes with a little bag, if you can see down there, right? Well, it's hard to see, but it's right there. I'll bring it up here in a minute as well. But it also tells you, so it on here it says it says primary hose on here. So it says, hey, this goes to your air compressor. So you hook this to your air compressor, and this is all I've needed. I haven't needed the extra, but it's got an extension in the back of the bag as well. It's just as long as this. I believe this is 25 foot, and I believe that other one's 25 foot, so you get 50 foot. And the compressed air is not a big deal, however long you go, because it will pressurize the hose out quite a ways, probably a couple hundred feet, to be honest with you, even in this little compressor. And now this compressor, I've had a lot of people ask me, well, would that work with power tools? I don't think so. I do not believe power tools will be pushed off this compressor. The lines are awful small, but I believe this is purposely to build the pressure up. I have a 80 gallon compressor for my shop, and it doesn't blow up tires as well as this thing does. This thing is amazing. So what I want to do now, I'm going to go hook the battery up right now. Alright guys, I'm up here with the battery. I know it's hard to see. I don't have a tall enough tripod, to be honest with you, but I have a positive connection here. Now I have pulled my connections back. I put longer studs into my batteries for this purpose, plus hooking my battery tender here up. So I've done it for both those purposes, and so I've got a negative back here as well. Now one thing you want to make sure you do is make sure that you cut your compressor off at the switch. So it's off, there's no power. The power is going to run through the battery cables here, but it's not going to cut the switch on, so there shouldn't be any backfeed or anything like that. And typically you're going to hook up your positive first. Got my positive on, and then just whatever type of connector you have, you just hook them onto that connector. But red is positive, same thing with jumper cables, right? Red is positive, black is negative. Now I want to watch out, I don't want to touch anything. I'm going to hook it up to my negative. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here, we're going to hook everything else up, and then we're going to actually deflate a tire, and then we're going to inflate a tire. Alright, we've got our hose, and do know that this is the primary hose, and it's got the different looking end. So this is the ends that I'm used to seeing, not this end, so for me it's a funky looking end. And it also tells you not to pull here. So basically what you're going to want to do is grab a hold of here, pull that, and then pull it off when you either install it like that or take it off. So we're going to put this on. Now if you see down here, right there, what I'm going to do is you just take your fingers, you push it in, and it goes on real easy. And you can turn your compressor around like that. If you see, now that's facing the where it is, and you also have to bring your compressor up close enough to your battery. If you see, this is my front wheel. Yeah, you should be able to see that. You got your my lights and stuff, my front bumper right there. So this is my front wheel. My battery's right up there. So it's close enough, and this it will go a little bit further out, but not much. However, this will still swing around to the other side. And this is all the hose I need to do all four of my wheels. Now if I had a trailer or something I was pulling, we've actually talked about getting a small vehicle, a bit smaller than what we have, and pulling behind the camper. That way we don't have to take two vehicles if we need to, but this camper is small enough we normally don't have to. But now we're going to go back here to the rear tire, and we're going to do some more hooking up, some deflating, and then some inflating. Alright, so I've got this in. I still haven't cut my compressor on. The compressor's just got a little switch on the back So I'm not going to show you that. It's just a little on-off switch. But of course, I've got my valve stem here. Now make sure you put these where you can see them, because they'll get lost, especially if it's windy or stuff. And I'm going to tell you now, you get a flat tire, it's going to be raining, it's going to be windy. If you have my luck anyway, right? So put them in your pocket or whatever. I'm out in my yard, it's nice and sunny. I'll put it right there. But again, you just take this, and I just pull this back just like that with 2 fingers. There we go, 2 fingers. Nice and easy without air going to it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, right here it's got a thread right there, and I'm just going to push it against the stem. Just lay this down like that. See if I can get the knee out of the way, hopefully. And I'm going to try to start seating it. And you're going to hear it go like, I don't know if y'all heard that, but I could hear that. And then if you can see the gauge, it's reading a little under 70, so it's right here, which is correct. And then of course I told you how to blow off valve if you get it too much. You hear that, it's blowing off. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to blow it off, and I'm going to blow it down to about 40, so I'm going to stop the video. Then I'm going to come back when I get it down to 40, and then I'm going to cut the compressor on. I'm going to show you how quiet the compressor is. It's very quiet, it's amazing. And then we're going to blow this tire up back to 70. Again, this is a max pressure for 80 tire, and this is why I wanted to show you on this and not just like an SUV or something. So let me get this to 40 and I'll come right back. Alright guys, I'm back. I got it down to a little below 40, just a hair. It's probably like 38, something like that. It's still hooked up. Make sure it's still screwed on good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go cut the compressor on. Now this is a 10-foot box. This old Penske box truck that we converted. So I'm literally about 10 foot away from this compressor. So I'm going to walk back here, cut it on. I'm not going to move it. But I want you to see how quiet it is for an air compressor. Alright, so it's on. It's well, it just shut off. It just pressurized, but it's going to cut back on as I fill it up. You see it's at 40 again. You can't watch the dial while it's putting air in it. It's going to take probably a couple minutes to fill it all the way up, which is to be expected. But let's see what it does. And you hear the compressor kick on. You can see how quiet or loud, or whichever way you're looking, the compressor is. And the compressor's running. You should still be able to hear me. The decibels aren't that high. I forget what the decibel is, but it's quiet enough to talk to somebody. Sitting right here, I was showing my boy how this worked. He's only 5, about to be 6. But I was showing how all this worked, and we were able to just sit here talking to each other right at within 6 or 8 feet, a little bit closer than I am now, without having to holler at each other. And I don't have a mic on or anything. I'm coming right off the camera microphone. I don't have one of those mics. I don't have one of those. So that's how quiet it is. Alright, I went from 40 to 50 in that amount of time. I don't know if I've got these little caterpillars. I don't know what they're called, but I just cut grass out here, and I've got these little bitty caterpillars. Those, if anybody knows what kind of caterpillar it is, I don't. I know they're the ones that are in the trees, but I just cut grass, and I can see the grass, the little bitty prickles of grass moving I mean, they are all over. They're probably by the thousands out here. Maybe I hit a nest or something, I'm not sure, but they are all over. Alright, almost 60. Let me show you the gauge. In that amount of time. And these are load range E light truck tires. This is what this box calls for. It's a 10-foot box, and we converted it again to the camper. And it's got a good bit in there. About the only thing we don't have in there is a shower. We don't have that in there. But we do have one of those outside showers. We have, small fridge, microwave, of course the toilet, cabinet, bed, all that, shelving for your clothes, stuff like that. But I'm very impressed with this setup. My 80-gallon, I don't know, it's 150 psi is what I think I got it running at in the shop. It won't fill the tires up as fast as this will. In fact, it starts really struggling about 65 psi. Where this, I haven't really had it struggle. It will do about the same thing all the way up to at least 70. I've never really been above 70. I think I went to about 74 one time, so I backed it back down to 70. But if you're looking for a compressor, any of you guys that just want one, you do a lot of traveling or you have an RV. Now they do make smaller ones. I suggest get the RV one. I will link both the RV and the smaller one, just the normal vehicle one. But I suggest just getting the RV because it is nice and quick, and it's not that bad. Right, that's 70 right there. You can see that. I'm not sure on the gauge, but that's 70 on the nose. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to back it out. Hear it doing its little blow off. I backed out. I've let my pressure loose. I actually like to put it back again to double check. This gauge is pretty good, so it's showing a little below 70, so I'm going to go back up. But this gauge was in a pound of all my other gauges, and I have a couple smaller digital gauges, and I'm not going to bring all that out. This one works. In fact, I want to order an extra one to put on my shop compressor. It's a VIAIR. It's the same company that makes the compressor. It's their gauge. So they've got some top-notch stuff. Their compressor also comes with a replacement filter, and they should tell you in the manual of how to clean all that stuff. We'll take that off. I'll put my cap back on so I don't forget it. So I'm back where I was, and that was pretty quick. That was, what, maybe 4 minutes or something? I'll look back on, and I'm not sure, but you can time it if you want to. Look at the clip. That's it. Now we just do the exact opposite for what we did. I'm going to go over and cut the compressor off, and then I'm going to basically bleed it, so I'll show you that now. Alright, compressor's off. You just hit the button, it bleeds. Now I can take this off very easily. Those come off, and then I can do the exact opposite of what I did to install it. So we're just going to take this hose off. I'm going to put the hose in the bag, and then, in fact, let me see if I can show you a little better picture of the bag. This bag comes with it. So it's got a front pocket for your hose here. It's got a rear pocket for your extension hose right here. It's got little pockets. Now this stuff didn't come with it. I just put this in here. I throw it in the back of my SUV. That's where it stays 90% of the time, and then when we're traveling in the camper, I throw it in the camper in one of our boxes there. And then of course your main compressor goes in here, and in my main compressor, or my main compartment, I put a puncture kit. And I'll actually do a video of what puncture kit I've got in a different video, so I can show you that as well. Alright guys, I just want to go over this compressor a little bit. Again, this is the I believe it's the P400RV model. I highly suggest this model. I really do. I saw a bunch of reviews. It had really great reviews. I think it was 4.8 or 4.9. When I looked it up, I said, okay, I need something. Let me grab this. I got it. And I will be honest, I didn't expect it to be that quiet. I've been around compressors all my life. I've worked in shops all my life. I did not expect it to be that quiet. It doesn't shake a lot either. It does get hot. Now I will tell you it gets hot. So normally when I'm using it, I'll leave it there, and then I will unhook everything, and then I'll let it sit. because I don't want to put it in this bag. I mean, it gets pretty hot. That's aluminum, it cools off pretty quick. But it doesn't vibrate much. It's got those little vibration dampers, so you can actually sit it in the hood if you want to, or like in your engine bay, you can sit it up there. That wouldn't bother it. It's not going to vibrate. It shouldn't vibrate out off of that. I set it up on there one time. I tried it out. It didn't vibrate off, or a table or something like that. In fact, it hasn't moved from where it's at now. But do know it does get hot. So if you reach down and try to touch, if you grab the handle, not a big deal because it's got padding and it's not going to burn you. But if you reach down and grab the little cooling fins on top, where it helps dissipate some of the heat, if you reach down and grab that, it's going to burn you. It is hot. Now, it depends on how tough your skin is. I've welded most of my life. In fact, I was a welder by trade for a long time. And it's not going to burn your skin off, but it's going to burn. It's like touching a really hot pan. But yeah, and it's got, I believe, a 20 amp fuse on it, so it'll pop, so it doesn't hurt your vehicle nor the compressor. So, and it comes with extra stuff. In fact, it's got a little pouch. Not sure if you can see that, but it's got extra filters. It's even got like your basketball or ball. Oh, and I am sorry, it does come with an extra quick connect. So I could put the extra quick connect on here. I just haven't done it yet. I don't have a dually, so I haven't done it. Maybe I'll do that here this afternoon since I got it out. But it comes with all those extras. And then of course those little filters, you can order more of this from VIAIR. And I will link the compressor down below. And yes, I do make a little commission off this stuff. It's not much, guys. I don't get paid for any of my YouTube stuff. They won't monetize firearm channels, or they at least have it me. But it's not a whole lot, but it does help. Maybe I can bring y'all some more videos and stuff. Alright guys, I just want to show this because I really enjoy this compressor. I really like it. I know some of you other guys are not just gun guys, and a lot of gun guys are outdoor guys, right? And you do a lot of stuff, your ATVs and stuff like that, your campers and other stuff. So I figured this compressor would be a good review. Alright, this is Spencer with Defense Training. Stay safe, stay armed.
Hey guys, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you don't mind, and share it if you would. This really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Also, we offer different styles of training. So we offer concealed weapons classes here in Anderson, South Carolina. Also, we offer advanced training, and we offer church safety team training. So you can go check all that out at defensetraining.org. And then, of course, we make holsters. We have our online holster store, so if you go check that out, and that's holstersbydefensetraining.com. And all these links are below. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.